Picture this. You've worked hard for 40 years. You've sacrificed weekends, stayed late at the office, and even skipped vacations to save money. Finally, it's your last day at work. You walk out of the office for the last time with a big smile, ready to enjoy retirement. But just months later, you realize the money isn't enough. Bills keep coming. The cost of living keeps rising. And suddenly you're looking for part-time work, not for fun, but for survival. This is the reality for millions of people today. And if you don't change how you think about money right now, this could be your future too. Today, we're diving into why you'll never retire unless you follow 5 unconventional rules that most people ignore. These aren't the boring, traditional tips you've heard a million times like save 10% of your income or cut back on lattes. These are real, powerful strategies that can actually change your financial life. So let's break them down one by one. Why most people never retire. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Retirement, as we imagine it, is becoming a myth. For decades, the dream was simple. Work until 60 or 65, then spend your golden years traveling, relaxing, and enjoying life. But the math doesn't add up anymore. The cost of living has skyrocketed, healthcare expenses are through the roof, and pensions have nearly disappeared. Even social security systems around the world are under massive pressure. Meanwhile, people are living longer than ever before. That sounds like good news, right? But living longer means your money has to last longer. If you retire at 65 and live until 90, that's 25 years of expenses you need to cover without a paycheck. Most people are not prepared for that. In fact, studies show that a huge percentage of adults have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. That wouldn't even cover 1 year's rent in most cities. So if you're feeling stressed about retirement, you're not alone. But don't panic, because if you start thinking differently and take the right steps, you can break free from this cycle. And that's where our 5 unconventional rules come in. Rule 1, stop thinking like the middle class. The first rule is a mindset shift. Stop thinking like the middle class. Middle-class money habits are why most people stay stuck. They buy bigger houses when they get a raise, upgrade their cars every few years, and spend every dollar they earn. This is called lifestyle creep, and it's one of the biggest reasons people never build real wealth. The rich do the opposite. They don't buy things just because they can. They buy things that make them more money. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle every time they earn more, they invest the difference. Here's a simple example. Imagine you get a $500 raise. Most people will celebrate by upgrading their phone or going out to eat more often. But what if instead you invested that $500 every month? In 20 years at a modest 8% return, that single decision could grow to over $275,000. That's the difference between working forever and actually having a retirement fund. The first step to retiring is to break the cycle of looking rich and start focusing on becoming rich. Rule 2, build assets, not just savings. Start now. Savings are great, but they won't make you wealthy on their own. Why? Because money sitting in a bank account slowly loses value over time due to inflation. That $100 you have today won't stretch as far in 10 years. It will buy less food, less gas, and less of everything you need. Simply saving isn't enough anymore. Instead, focus on building assets, things that actually grow your wealth and generate money while you sleep. This could mean investing in rental properties that pay you rent every month, buying dividend-paying stocks or index funds that grow in value over time, or even starting a small business that works for you. The sooner you begin, the faster your money starts working for you. Think of it like planting trees. Every asset you buy is a tree that grows and produces fruit year after year. The more trees you plant, the more fruit you can harvest when you retire. This is why wealthy people keep getting wealthier. They own things that keep paying them even while they sleep. Start small if you have to. Buy 1 share of a stock, invest in a low-cost index fund, or start a side hustle that generates cash flow. The goal is to create multiple streams of income so you're not relying on a single paycheck or savings account. Rule 3, learn the language of money. Here's the truth. Money has its own language, and most people were never taught how to speak it. Schools don't teach financial literacy, and many of us grow up repeating bad money habits we saw at home. But if you want to retire, you need to understand how money actually works. This means learning about compound interest, debt management, investing, taxes, and cash flow. It's not as boring as it sounds. Once you understand how money works, you start to see opportunities everywhere. For example, the average person might look at a rental property and think, that's too expensive. But someone financially literate looks at it and asks, how much cash flow can this produce every month? That knowledge is power, and it's what separates those who retire early from those who work forever. A great place to start is by reading one book on personal finance every month. Books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or The Millionaire Next Door can completely shift how you think. The more fluent you become in the language of money, the more control you gain over your financial future. Rule 4. Play offense, not just defense. Start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment or next year's resolution. Take action today. Most financial advice out there focuses on cutting back. Spend less, save more, clip coupons, skip coffee runs. And sure, saving is important, but let's be honest, you can only cut so much before life stops feeling enjoyable. There's a hard limit to how much you can save, but there's no ceiling on how much you can earn. That's why the smartest people focus on offense, not just defense. They look for ways to bring in more money, starting a side hustle, learning high-income skills, or creating something valuable. When you shift your focus to growing income, you take control of your financial future. This could mean learning new skills that make you more valuable at work, asking for a raise, starting a side hustle, or even launching a business. The key is to make your earning potential grow faster than inflation. Imagine you earn an extra $1,000 a month and invest it for 10 years. That single decision could mean hundreds of thousands of extra dollars for your future. Stop thinking like someone trying to survive and start thinking like someone trying to win. The wealthy don't just save money, they focus on growing their income stream so big that saving becomes effortless. This is how they retire early, not by clipping coupons, but by playing the game differently. Rule 5, design your retirement, don't just dream about it. Here's the most unconventional rule of all. Stop treating retirement like a faraway dream and start designing it like a real plan. Most people say, I'll retire someday, but they have no idea what that really looks like. They don't know how much money they need, where they'll live, or what they'll do with their time. You need to be specific. Sit down and calculate how much you actually need to retire comfortably. Consider your desired lifestyle, your monthly expenses, and how long you expect to live. Then work backward. If you know you need $1 million to retire by 60, figure out how much you need to invest every month to get there. When you make retirement a concrete goal instead of a vague hope, it suddenly becomes achievable. And don't forget to plan for health, hobbies, and meaning. Many people retire and feel lost because they never thought about what they'd actually do with all that free time. Retirement isn't just about money, it's about building a life you actually want to live. Conclusion. So there you have it. 5 unconventional rules that can completely change your financial future. Stop thinking like the middle class. Build assets instead of just savings. Learn the language of money. Play offense by increasing your income. And design your retirement with intention. If you start following these rules today, you won't just dream about retiring, you'll actually do it. The future doesn't have to be scary. It can be exciting, full of freedom, and completely on your terms. But it all starts with taking action right now. If you found this helpful, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share this with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Your future self will thank you.